I mean, quitting my job that day was a big piece of that. It was incredibly scary. I don't mean to say that flippantly. It was terrifying,
Yeah.
but it was I just knew it was necessary. It was like, I've made this an either or. And the more that I now teach abundance and talk about abundance constantly as a concept, is people who are truly abundant in this world are never either or. They are always both.
Right.
You can have this or this, both.
Mhm.
It's like this
Right.
automatic answer, both, right? And it's not out of selfishness. It's out of, I'm not going to live inside of limitations. Let me figure this out. Let me see what's actually possible. And that's when the new opportunities arise. We can
Mhm.
only find what we're looking for.
Right.
So if we're looking for either or, that's what you'll find. If you're looking for both, you can find them too.
Which then leads us right into the perfect segue to the money myths, right? On your site, you've got a great video that you get when you sign up for your freedom calculator, which we'll talk about, which I love. And I mentioned before we started recording, fell in love with it. So much so that I changed everything about the interview to circle around these three. You have three money myths that you talk about. So
Yeah.
can you walk us through those? Because it goes hand in hand with the whole abundance thing.
Yes, it absolutely does. And I want to always, in this day and age where everybody on the internet knows everything, I always love to give credit where credit is due. So these three myths I learned about first in a book called The Soul of Money, which I highly recommend. By the author is Lynn Twist, and just an exquisite book. But these three myths I sort of took from that book and have expanded and looked at. But myth number one is that there's not enough. And this one is just so hideous. I hate this one so much, but there's not enough. And what I love to talk about, I have a very funny YouTube video about that too, that I do about kids who are taught to play musical chairs. And you take away a chair. We're
yeah.
literally teaching scarcity to our children. But anyway, okay, that's another story for another time. Sarah gets worked up.
Yes.
But yeah, so the myth that there's not enough. And what I love to talk about here is just go to, I'd like you to look at a garbage can in an amusement park. It's disgusting. There's so much food in there. There's so much food in there. And yet people are starving, right? But we live in this myth of there's not enough. So there's not enough. We have plenty of water. We can drop bombs within inches of where they're supposed to go, but we can't drop food, water, and medicine.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What? Right. So this idea there's not enough, there's more than enough, right? We live into this myth that there's not enough when we start to hoard, which is completely against our nature, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen this conversation sort of come up lately as extreme wealth has started to become more of our consciousness. But this idea that, like, could you imagine a squirrel like hoarding all the acorns and all of their family dies? That's like not a thing in nature. Like that's not how that would go ever.
Yeah.
And it would be very weird. And we would actually study that animal and be like, what is wrong with this animal? It would be like, this one is broken, right? Like it's so weird. But it is because we're born into this myth that there's not enough. The second myth is more is better. And this one is brutal because it will not let you relax. So you've made 10 million. Well, 10 million and one is better. And so you can't ever be satisfied. You can't ever just experience life because there's this constant more is better, more is better, more is better. And we know this myth isn't true logically. We know it. Like I always joke about people who are like, I want a really big house. And then they get the house. They're like, who the hell's cleaning this thing?
I don't.
Like every mom just went, every dad too. It's like, oh, now I have to fix the gutter. I got to do this. Every weekend is now like, damn this house. Right. So it's like this more is better thing. It can get old real quick.
Yeah.
Right. Like we can really start to see that that's probably not true, but it is so a part of the air that we breathe from the second that we're born, that it crowds into the mind in a way that we're not even aware of.